Hello and welcome to this discussion. I recently made a video where I summarized the process that lies ahead after you are selected in the diversity visa lottery. And in that video, I also mentioned that there are a number of things that it is important that you understand before moving ahead with your application process. And so this is the first of a number of videos in which I'm going to explain those various things that you need to understand before embarking on your application process. So let's talk today about your program year. You have been selected for DV-2023. That's the 2023 program year. Now, what you need to understand is that the DV program for each year corresponds to the United States fiscal year. So when we speak of DV 2023, is the program that will be administered during the United States 2023 fiscal year. The United States fiscal year runs from October 1st of one year to September 30th of the following year. So in your case, fiscal year 2023, the year during which your program will be administered, is going to begin on October 1st of 2022 and is going to run until September 30th, 2023. That's the span of the program for which you have been selected. And I'm speaking to those who were recently selected in the results that were published on May 7, 2022. And so the interviews that are currently conducted do not concern you if you were selected for the DV 2023 program. Yours will begin in the month of October. Also, the visa bulletin. The visa bulletins that are currently being published, that is for this month of May, for the month of June, up to the month of July, they do not concern DV 2023 interviews. It is from the month of August 2022 that you should begin to follow the visa bulletin to have an idea of cases that will be scheduled for the upcoming year, that is for your program, which is going to begin in the month of October. And from that point on, you will need to follow the visa bulletin until you get scheduled for interview. Now, for those of you who are not aware of the visa bulletin, it is a publication by the United States State Department, and it is released every month around the middle of the month, and it tells us the case numbers that are to be interviewed in the upcoming 2 months. So in the month of August, that is when we will know the case numbers that are to be interviewed for the month of October, that is 2 months later. But it's going to be the lowest case numbers in each region. That is what the diversity visa rule states, and that is what happens every year, and so it's going to also happen in your case. Now, in a subsequent video, we will discuss the visa bulletin in detail, and we will also consider case numbers for better understanding. But for the time being, be aware that the visa bulletins that are currently being published concern DV 2022, the program that is currently being administered. You should also understand that interviews for your program will not be determined by how early you submit your DS-260. They are rather determined by your case number that appears at the bottom of your selection letter or your result. When you check your result, at the bottom of that letter, you will see your case number. And that is what will determine when your interview will be conducted between October of 2022 and September of 2023. So you may submit your DS-260 today, that is in the month of May 2022, and then you realize that you are not scheduled for interview or you are not interviewed until more than a year from now. We will go into detailed explanation regarding when various cases are expected to be interviewed within that interval. And so between now, May 2022 and October 2022, no interviews relating to DV-2023 program will be conducted. October 1st, 2022 is when your program DV-2023 is going to begin. So the earliest interview for this program will begin around 5 months from now. Some of you will be interviewed in the month of October. Others will be interviewed as the fiscal year progresses. In November, in December, in January of 2023, and that will continue up to September 2023. That is when interviews for your program will be ending. So a lot of you guys will have to wait for up to more than a year from now before you get interviewed in the context of the DV 2023 program. So that is how interviews are scheduled in the diversity visa program. They begin in the month of October, progress through the fiscal year, November, December, continue January, February, up to the end of the fiscal year in September. And that is what is going to happen in your case, DV 2023. This is what should normally happen in the diversity visa program. Although there have been exceptions, even in the case of the current program, DV 2022, there have been cases where that was not respected, but it was mainly because of the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. So we hope that in your case, DV 2023, that those effects will not be repeated and that your program will be a normal program, a program like those that occurred before the COVID-19 pandemic. So as it relates to your program year, these are things that you have to understand. If you have any questions regarding the issue that we have discussed or any other thing that relates to your selection in the diversity visa lottery or the process that comes after, don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment area below, and I'll be glad to respond to your comment. So that is it for today's discussion. Thanks for watching this video, and if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, go ahead and do so, and I will see you, God willing, in the next one. Goodbye.